149, light. Christ is the light of the world, and the true light who pierces the darkness of sin and illuminates the path towards salvation. In the sacrament of baptism, the Christian becomes enlightened and receives the light of Christ. Wakes up and realizes, right? Scales are taken off his eyes, but with the power of the Holy Spirit, and he comes to realize through conviction, etc., through the power of the Holy Spirit. Wow. Yeah? I was once a dirty, sick perv, or whatever, I accepted Christ, got him into my life, brought him into my life, all that sort of stuff. Just an example. We're not saying that we were, right? But we were a sinner, basically, and then through the power of the Holy Spirit, through conviction, we wake up and realise it's like a heavy weight was taken off our backs, scales off our eyes, and we realise, wow, there's a better life, more abundant life, We don't have to go through all that crap that life gave us, threw at us, right? Or other people threw at us through our lifetime. It's a relief. We're released from it, we're liberated. This enlightenment allows the Christian to see through the eyes of faith and to become a light of the world by serving as a beacon of God's love. CCC 457 126. 16. John. This refers to John the Baptist, the last and greatest of all the prophets. See, John the Baptist, not the John that was under the cross, the beloved disciple, the author of Revelations, who had that vision. John's Gospel frequently clarifies the Baptist's role in relation to Christ. It's CCC 717 to 720. So one John is talking about the other John. Yeah? And so forth. And here's evidence that he was a Galilean and he spoke Galilean Aramaic. Not Greek, not with this other rubbish. Right? He wasn't a Roman with this crap. Okay? 1:11. His own people received him not, while Christ was to experience rejection in his own Galilean community. This verse also has a wider scope that includes all who reject Christ, both Jews and Gentiles, or non-Jews. Indifference and moral relativism are modern forms of rejecting or ignoring Christ and his message. CCC 530. Yeah? So anyone tells you, Christ was Greek, he spoke Greek, he wrote Greek, he ate Greek, he wore Greek sandals, all this sort of stuff. Maybe it's sandals. Yeah, but everything else is just total garbage. Okay? So he's a Galilean, so he would have spoken Galilean Aramaic. And his bros that hung around for the 3 years of his ministry, like Peter, etc., and his brothers, they were Galilean fishermen. Not Greek fishermen. Not Roman fishermen. Or Chinese or anything like that. There it is right there. Okay, so I'm going to go right back to Genesis. Okay. We are at Genesis, are we? Or further back? Sorry, forward. Go back. Okay, we went a bit too far forward. Okay, so 127. 127, 1431. Okay, 127. Then God said, let us make man. So it's the triune he's talking to, not the angels or anybody else. Let us, triune Godhead, the Father, me the Son, and me the Holy Spirit, make man in our image, in our likeness, right? With his visage, his face. After our likeness, our form, right? Our image, 3-part. And let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, etc., etc. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him, male and female, he created them. So he made male and female at that point, right? Many will say, but that means he made Adam and Eve. No. If you've seen the video of us covering of the original Aramaic, the Tau Asher Aramaic, it says male and female. It's much like that, but it's talking about a pre-Adamic. Yeah? Okay, and it was an unfathomable period. It wasn't a literal 6th day. See how they have a little d? And they're basically saying that it's a literal day as we know it, when in the original Aramaic, Tav Esher, it's capital D, which we believe will indicate Iyuma in the Aramaic, which means immeasurable or unfathomable period. No one was there to write all down what they saw. They didn't get up at 6 in the morning and go, oh, okay, God's done this, done that on that particular day with a small d. There was no one around, only God, the heavenly host, and the triune. Okay, then you have 2:7. In the second story of creation, we see both the physical and spiritual aspects of human beings. Man was formed out of the earth, giving him a physical body, and then God breathed into man the breath of life, animating him and endowing him with a spiritual soul. The Hebrew ruah means both breath and spirit. Okay, so have a look here, 127 or whatever. Go back a bit, one page back. Where are we? 1:7. 127. Okay. He created man in his own image. He blessed him. Okay, so they don't have this Ruach HaKodesh, but he's given them a breath of life. So they went from inanimate soul, basically lifeless, to an animate soul. They started to move around, jump up and down, and yeehaw, all that sort of stuff, and doing their thing. Because here it makes no mention of the second creation act of a more spiritual man connected to God right through the power of the Holy Spirit. Okay? And then the woman who was made from one of Adam's ribs. Okay, does not mention it in 127. Just he created them in his image. Okay, why would it leave out that if it was the same being? Okay, why would it not first say, okay, if it's got here, male and female, he created them, 2 or more, that he took the rib from this particular male and made this particular being. Okay, so here it's saying he created both of them, male and female, okay, which are these cave dwellers, hunter-gatherers, Neanderthal, or Cro-Magnon, or whatever was archaeologically discovered, thousands and thousands of years ago, whatever name that was. We're not going to say it's Neanderthal because, okay, a nice lady told us in the comments, no, that's a bit too early. They weren't found until centuries later in the Neander Valley in Germany. So yeah, and it's historical, it's archaeologically proven, and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so we're going to look at this 227, is it? Okay, here it's trying to say that the first one created, male and female, that he created both of them, being made by God, who is love. Well, we don't think it's actually saying that about them, that they were created in his image. It's sort of hinting at that, but it could be referring to the more spiritual, more intelligent, upright Adam and Eve. Okay, but yeah, we're full of love and created in his image. Yeah, we have his visage, we have his likeness, we're 3-part. Okay, and we have an intrinsic and fundamental vocation to love, to fall in love, to express our love, all this sort of stuff, right? For the great majority of people, this love is expressed in marriage, which is a reflection of the intimate love between the divine persons of the Trinity. Beyond the bonds of marriage, man and woman were created not as solitary beings, but as social beings who can only find and live their true vocations in relation to others. CCC 371, 372, 383, 1601 to 1607, 1652, 2331, CSDC, 3637, 149 to 428 in the Roman Catholic doctrines, right? Or catechisms. Okay. So, all of this here, if it's scriptural, if it's the words of God, it's not saying anywhere here that they were all made in Africa. Okay? So if anyone comes at you saying, oh, it all started in Africa, baloney. We can understand that maybe it was one gigantic landmass. No names, nothing. Just territories. People wandered in there. Okay, oh, my name's Canaan. I'm the father of all these descendants. So, yeah, and the descendants decided, well, let's give it a name, eh? Okay, we'll name it after the father, ancestor or forefather, whatever, right? Yeah, he's our leader. He took us there. Another lot would say, oh, okay, we came down this way. Maybe his name was Hitti or something. Oh, okay, we're descendants of that particular guy. Hittai or whatever his name might be. So, yeah, we're the Hittites. So, yeah, okay. That region there. Land of the Hittites, Jebusites, whatever, right? That sort of thing. Okay? It wasn't until centuries and centuries later that somebody said, oh, okay, this country here, geographical location is Africa. This one here is Mesopotamia or Syria, Greeks, right? Probably invading it or going into that location, finding these people that spoke a certain language, that occupied it. So they say, yeah, you are Syrians or Syriac, they're Syrians. We've added the IA, given you this name, added this IA, this N prefix, etc. They probably didn't do this. But, it's like basically when they explained it to someone else, well, they had the possession of the land, they spoke a certain language. So, yeah, they were speaking Syrian or Persian, okay, in this particular area. They're descendants of, say, another example, Aram. We said, what's that language you speak? Oh, the language of Aram. Who's that? Oh, it's our ancestor, our forefather who brought us into this land. Okay, so, we'll add something on the end of it. Here's a loan word, Aramaic, right, in the Greek, which means basically you're the possessors of this or the owners of this language, living in this particular geographical location. You're possessing it, so yeah, we'll call you Aramaeans. Yeah. Whereas they weren't calling themselves Aramaeans, they were just saying we're the peoples, the ites of this ancestor of ours, Aram, who first brought us into this land and we've been dwelling here, all that sort of stuff, right? Okay, so it's not until later, when those areas are conquered, that somebody decides to give them a name, i.e. the Greeks. Oh, you're the Persians. Oh, you're the Syrians. Oh, you're the Asiatics. Hopefully you understand that. So yeah, here it says here, look. A river flowed out of Eden to water the garden, etc. The name of the first is Pishon, which flows around the whole land of Havilah, which is right in Kuwait today. Okay, so it's telling you where it went, where it started and where it went. Where there is gold, and the gold of that land is good. It has all these bdellium, etc., etc. And the second river is Gihon. It is the one which flows around the whole land of Cush, with a sea. Okay, that's the Cush in Mesopotamia, Assyria at the time. Later became Assyria. And here's the verification. And the names of the third river is Tigris. It's not in Egypt. It's not in northwestern Egypt or southern Egypt. Southern Africa or anything like that. Right? East Africa, North Africa, South Africa, whatever. And it flowed east of Assyria. Okay? And the fourth river is the Euphrates. This is all Mesopotamia. Okay? It probably flowed past it or flowed around it, as it did with the Cush. This geographical location called Cush. Yeah? And then these people eventually, having descendants, they decided, it's probably a bit cold here, we'll go somewhere else where it's a bit hotter. How about going down this way, down here somewhere? Right, okay, we'll just cross this little river here, there's now a river there, or whatever. We'll go down there. Oh, look, we bumped into these other different people. They're actually quite darker than us, because they had a lot of sun on their skin, etc., etc. So, we like these people. They got some pretty wives, pretty daughters, whatever, So we'll get with them, and then we start a new tribe. We have sons, daughters, descendants, etc. So we are the original Cush from Mesopotamia, the Cushites, and we went all the way down there, bred with these people, had sons and daughters, whatever. Okay, and they'll be the new tribe, the new version of us, the Cushites with a K. Yeah, but they probably didn't say, with a K, whatever. It's just what's probably being put in front of these names, so you know the difference. Okay, that's the example we're using to verify that. Okay, and it goes right into Genesis, goes on further. Generation of Adam, when God created man, made him in the likeness of God, etc., etc. Here it says Adam lived 930 years and then he died. Well, that's silly, because nobody, no matter how healthy you are, you're not going to live 930 years, are you? Yeah, we verified that in another video of the original Aramaic, Tab Asher Aramaic, translated into the nearest English equivalent, and it says his lineage, his line of descendants, Adam's seed, right? But his oldest son, Cain killed Abel, then he put into the land of Nod, right? Land of wandering. So he's no longer the head of the family, right? So the birthright doesn't pass on to him because he's not around anymore. So he has a replacement son called Seth. Enosh or Seth. I think it might be Seth first. And then he has Enosh, right? And then he has the sons and daughters and descendants, all that sort of stuff. Because perhaps Seth died. Let's go back to Seth. Seth is then the heir or the head son of Adam's lineage. And then he has a son, and then he has sons and daughters, and carries on, right? Until, say, Seth dies, or Adam dies. So this Seth has that birthright, then he passes it on to his son Enosh. Eventually grows old, he dies, and he passes it on to the first born son, all this sort of stuff. Okay, so it's talking about specifically about lineage. It's not saying that he lived to be 930 then died, because if you look at the original Aramaic, it says at 800 or something like that, he had descendants and all this sort of stuff, probably 800th year in his lineage or something. It might have been 800 at the time, who knows. But it doesn't say specifically that he died at 930 years of age. It actually says it's talking about his lineage, his line of descendants coming from his seed, right? And then Enosh's line as the head of the sons and daughters that he had, right? His lineage lasts for, say, I don't know, a couple of 100 years or something, or whatever that Genesis says. And then his oldest son gets the birthright, and his lineage passes on, 777 years or whatever. Whatever the genealogy, Genesis list, family list, or lineage list says. Okay, so Cain knew his wife and she conceived and bore Enoch. See, it doesn't, even in your modern versions like this, it doesn't say that he grabbed his sister, married her and then committed incest and had children. It's like the Lord's talking to him. There's nothing here, even in the Hebrew, etc., that's saying, while he was talking to God, Adam and Eve got together again, did the wild thing and had children, right? And they grew up real fast, and then Cain grabbed one and then took her into this land and had children with her. No incest there. He goes into the land first, the land of Nod, east of Eden. Okay? He went away from the presence of the Lord. Okay? He went away from his mother and father, into this other land. And here he knew his wife, meaning that he found him a wife in that particular land. Okay? Got with her, married her, whatever. And then he had the sons and daughters, descendants, etc. Okay? And then he built a city there. And he called the name of the city after the name of his son, Enoch. To Enoch was born Irad, etc., etc. Okay? And then Adam's descendants, one of them was Noah, from his lineage. Okay, where are we? They so far, and then